So welcome back, everybody. So let's move on to the next part of our training. We will be now starting the drawing documentation basic. You can go to your page number 45 and make sure that as we move on, please read through this. And I'll be reading through this as well. There are certain words which are very important, all right? And then we have to make sure that we are reading this, all right? So is my screen visible? Could anybody confirm, please? My screen is visible, right? You can see the drawing documentation basic. Okay, perfect. Thank you. So to begin with, we are going to open the master.dwg, right? So the master.dwg, we will simply open from our folder where we have saved it. So let's everybody just browse to wherever you have saved the master.dwg, okay? All right, so here, for example, you have your exercise folder. In your exercise folder, you should have your master.dwg. Please open this drawing, okay? Okay, so we're gonna look at the project setup. So the first thing you're gonna see is these two buildings over here, building 1 and building 2, all right? So what you can now do is you can on your BIM project browser. If anybody doesn't see this over here, you can right click panels and you can find here BIM project browser, okay? When you on your BIM project browser, now what you can do here is you can create your project, okay? So we're gonna click on create project. All right. When you click on the create project, the create project window appears. It is divided in 4 tabs, okay? We'll go tab by tab. Please do read as well and see. So the first tab is going to be the project tab. Here you see the path of the folder. Here's the path of the folder in which your current drawing is located. You also see all the files that are in the specified folder, like these, which are in the folder, okay? You also see all the files that are in the folder because those might be all the files that you have kept in there. So the other files will also be visible if you, for example, keep some libraries over here. The DWGs that are not noted with the building icon, okay, like this is the building icon. They are models that are part of the project. On top of the project folder structure tree, you find the path in which the folder is located, and you can specify a name for the project. Then you have sheet sets, okay? Now sheet sets by default are named by the folder name .dst, okay? It's a sheet set, right? Then we have models. The models, for example, here you can choose which models will be included in your project. Check all of the check marks into include them all. For example, we're going to check all. Let's these, check these in. So these will also be part of your project, okay? Then in the library tab, you can see here that you find which library is used by which file, okay? So you can see that this uses the embedded file, the stored library path, which is the embedded path, okay? And it is a new external library will be set for all the models so that they all share the same library. This file is a database which stores information such as materials and compositions, steel profiles, custom properties, and the connection with the generated sheets. Using this external database avoids duplicating of materials, okay? So it's important. It's the most important file in your project. The .bc lib. Lib stands for library, systems library, yeah? And afterwards, all the drawings will share the same library. If you, for example, make a custom property, if you make a custom property, which you have seen in Kim's presentation, then that will be stored in your BC slib. Okay, important. These properties will also show up in other drawings and vice versa. Therefore, it is important that the entire project shares the same BC slib. Okay. After going through the different tabs, we can now hit OK. All right. You've seen all the 4 tabs. Right. And then we can say OK over here. And now your project will get set up. Okay. And when the project is getting set up, you can see now that the sheet setup has appeared. Sheet setup. In the second step of the creation of a project, we will get this. The dialog consists of 4 parts. Okay. The info at the top. Okay. The info at the top, which is this, that you will see the path. For example, the path where the sheet set is, and the path where the drawing template is taken. Okay. If you choose a layout from a template, it will look to the template which you set under the template path. So if you look here, if you click on these 3 dots, you can see it goes to your default templates. See these 3 dots over here. These will go to your default templates. Okay. You can choose any of these templates and they will be part of the system. Okay. And then what you can do is, for this exercise, we will choose create layout from scratch. So we'll just choose for a create layout from scratch. You will not choose the layout from the template, but you will just create a new layout from scratch. We will choose A1. Okay. So you have to first choose the plotter, right? See that there are multiple plotters over here that you can choose. We will choose the print as PDF.pc3 plotter. The paper size we will choose as A1, and the paper orientation will be landscape. Okay. So once this is done, then what you can do now is, for example, you go to the sections part, okay, below, which is B, which is sections. All of these are the sections that have been either defined by you, or you have BIMified, or they were predefined in the model. You can see all the sections available in the model. You can select or deselect them to be included. So you can unselect and select. Okay. All right. And then if a section is already placed on a sheet, then this is stated in the current destination column. You see there are these columns: name, model, type, what type of view it is. Is it a plan, a section, an elevation? What is it? Then the units, the width, and the height of your view, and the scale is also mentioned over here. And the current destination at this moment is none, because we haven't yet created them. All right. So to begin the sheet set setup takes the scale specified in the properties of your section plane. So this scale is default, but you can double click and change the scale. Okay. If you double click over here, you will be able to change the scale. Okay. Now, in this project, we will accept the default. We will include all the sections, and then we move to the sheets part. Okay. In the sheets part, we have seen that automatically, here you see the preview of the sections outlined onto your sheets. We are creating 4 sheets now. Okay. 1 with the floor plan. Okay. Then 2 with the elevations, which is A300 and A301, and 1 with the sections called A400. Okay. Now, let's move to the configurations. Okay. If you change the scale, we'll see it at a later stage. And then we look at the configurations. Here you can specify some naming options, as well as make sure that different types of sections are placed onto separate sheets. Okay. Or onto the same sheet. You can also specify margins. We will not touch the default settings for today. So you can feel free to change these prefixes, play with these at a later stage. Just double click, change them, the prefixes. okay, and also the margins, which you can change. Okay, you can change the margins. Okay, right. All of these margins can be changed both in inches and in millimeters. Now we are okay. We are good to go. Everything is set. We can just say create sheets. Okay, and this is going to create my sheets, which will be in these tabs. So you can see all these 4 tabs over here. Sections tab. Okay. Now let's explore the project. You can see the 4 tabs. For example, we are now on page number, we should be on page number 47, okay, for your information. Right. So the first is the sections tab with a list of all the sections in this building or in this particular model. View the section properties with section properties. For example, with section properties, if you right click, for example, on one of these views, you can see there are section properties. You can select section entity. You can rename the section. You can update the section. Okay. And you can update the generated result attached to this section object using update. And you can display the section result using the section result display. Okay. Just display the section result by double clicking on it. And you can see that the section result is automatically displayed. And I will close it for now. So that's done. All right. Then you can also drag and drop a section onto a different sheet than the sheet which it is currently located on by dragging the section name from the section tab towards the sheet name. Okay. You can actually, let's say, use one of these. Okay. And if you go to your sheets, you should be able to drag these out here. Okay. Just drag it here and you see that it goes in there. Okay. So you can test that. Now, if it is not there, okay, if any of the views is not in the sheet, then you will be able to do that. Okay. So please be mindful of that. Okay. So the next thing what we are going to do in the schedules, you will be able to find all the schedules. Okay, here you go. These are the schedules. Okay, but we do not have any schedules here. This part we will be taken in the later stages. Okay, specified. We don't have any schedules for now, but we will make them further in our training. Then we go to sheets. Okay, you can look at sheets. Right. In sheets, you find all the sheets in the sheet set. You can enable BricsCAD to update them in a background process. The ones without an icon are already updated. Okay, so you see that there's a possibility to update them by default, and you can do that by going to this. You see the hamburger over here, right? You can refresh. You can do project setup, or you can enable background update. I've enabled, or I can even disable background update. Okay, and I can enable background update. This will automatically enable the section to be updated. All right. After the sheets, in order to enable, of course, again, go to the hamburger menu and you can enable the background. Okay. Now, view the sheets properties with sheet properties. So you can right click on the sheet here. You see this A100, A300. Right click. When you right click, you see sheet properties and you can open the sheet, for example, and you can remove the sheet. Let's say we open the sheet and you can see that the sheet has now opened. It has only one view and we can close it. Then you can try opening the other sheet, which is elevations. These are 2 elevations. Okay. Then you could also click on this A300, right click. You can remove it. Okay. If you wanna, or just close it by pressing on the cross here. If you want to save it, or say no and don't save it. Okay. Then you can remove, yes, you can add a sheet subset in the project's sheet set with add a subset. So you can add a subset by add a subset. Okay. There you go. It adds a subset, and you can even remove this subset. Then you can add a new sheet in the properties sheet set. Okay, if you want to add a new sheet, just you can say add a sheet, and you can just add a new sheet and rename it. Okay, just delete it for now. Just remove. Okay, right. And then if you right click on the view name itself, you can see the view properties. So you go to the view, right click, you see the view properties. Okay, these are the view properties. The number, okay, the name, description, and the category is already over here. Okay. And the second thing is, by right clicking, you can see display the view. Okay. So this display the view will simply display the view on the sheet. Okay. It will open up the display of the sheet itself. Okay. So that's one. So put it in here. Okay. And then the second thing is you right click and you can see you can manually update if you want to manually update. But at this moment, a manual update is not required because we already went to this hamburger menu and we enabled background update. All right. Now the next thing is, remove. Yeah. So remove is just remove. If you want to remove a sheet or you want to remove a view from a sheet, you can do that as well. Okay. Remove view result. Just remove, for example, and now you can see that you won't have that view in the sheet. Okay. Leave the tags. So test these out. Testing is important to feel comfortable with the system itself. All right. Then in the models, you can find the models. The last tab is here, the models. Okay. Now, what you can do in the models, by right clicking on the models, you can, just right click here, go to the model properties, okay, to view the properties of the model itself. Okay. You can open the drawing, okay, and then remove from the model list. Okay. All right. So that was about the model. I think what we can now do is actually, we are on page 48, right? We're done with 45, 46, 47. We can actually quickly do edit the project. Okay, edit the project, right? So let's just quickly look at, to edit the project after creation, you can go to the hamburger menu in the top over here. And then you can click on project setup. Then we get the same dialog as upon creation. And then you can start editing this. If you want to rename it, you want to rename this one, you probably want to exclude a model. Okay. Maybe there is a new model which you have not included, and then the library as well. So all of these you can now update by going to the hamburger menu again. And then the second thing is, of course, you can change the project sheet. So you can go to the sheet set setup. In the sheet set setup, now you can feel free to create a new layout from scratch. Whatever is created will always be there, but if there is a new view, it will be shown over here. Okay. All right, and then changing the project library will connect all the drawings in the project to this new library. So you can change the project library, okay, in the project set setup. If you change the location of this library to a particular library, remember that all the properties will be using the properties of the other BC slip. So very important that you do not overlap this, and just make sure that if you have a BC slip, keep it project specific. Okay. Keeping it project specific is very important. Okay. Now what we will do, I would like to now just quickly take a 15-minute breakout session after this. Let's get into a breakout session. And then if you have any queries, please test this out, very important, because this is the key. After BIM, what you do is documentation. Let's get into a breakout session now for 15 minutes. Okay. Okay, welcome back to the main session, everyone. This is the last part of the trainings. And let's begin by going to page number 49. Okay. I'm going to share my screen now. Okay. So hope everybody enjoyed their trying outs. So let's go to page number 49 and let's go to adding section planes, which is number 6. To add new section planes, okay, to add new section planes, what we are going to do is let's open up the xref of building 2. Okay, so building 2, where will we find our models? We should be going to models here. Okay, or we could just go here to the building. Okay, then you go to the quad. The best way is that on the quad you should be finding that here, open xref. Okay, open xref. Okay, from the modify tab, and then it opens up the model of the building number 2. Okay, then in this building number 2 model, now it can be modified. Okay, further to that, we can run BIMify. Okay, first thing would of course be you can just go to your home tab. Under classify, you can do BIMify over here. This will generate the sections or manually create section planes. Okay, we can create manually the section planes. If you want to do that, you can just click on section over here and then just grab one of these surfaces. You need the dynamic UCS to be on, and then you can directly cut a section through here, okay, like this. We won't be doing that. What we will be doing is, or you can type the BIM section command. You can just type in BIM section command, and then it will activate the BIM section command, and then you can cut a section. Okay, that's one way. Now let's run the BIMify. Okay, we are going to run the BIMify. This will automatically create one floor plan and 4 elevations. All right. So we have a floor plan and we have 4 elevations. If we now save the file, you can just Control S and save the file. Okay. And then you close it. You can go back to your master model. Okay. In the attachment panel, you go to the attachment panel over here. On the right hand side, you see the attachment panel, which is again like a pin shape. Yeah. Then this attachment panel will consist of building 2. If you uncheck this box, it gets off. If you tick this box again, it will refresh the model and update the sections that we have created. So we created 5 views, right? 1 floor plan and 4 elevations. That will be updated by simply unchecking and reloading this building back through our attachment panel. Okay. Now, if you refresh the project browser, if you go to the project browser now, your home, and you just go to the hamburger menu and you refresh, okay, what will happen is that your new elevation and 1 single floor plan of the ground floor and 4 elevations will be added to your sections. Okay. Now, if we go to the sheet set setup, okay, if you go to the sheet set setup, how will you go there? You will go to the hamburger menu, go to the sheet set setup. Okay. Right. Now we are in the sheet set setup. Okay. So what we will do, we will again go to the create layout from scratch. All right. We will use A1 as the paper size, and we will use the paper orientation as landscape. Okay. Then now you can see in the sections tab, we have sections that already have a current destined file. Okay. But if you go to the sheets, you see that these new sheets have been created for our second building. Okay. In the sheets tab, we get these 3 sheets. Okay. And this will be in your destination file. Now let's try to change the plan, the ground floor plan. We can change from 1:50 to 1:20. Okay. And then we go back to the sheets and you see that now this view does not fit my sheet. Yeah. Now, yeah, so we will not do it. We will revert it back to 50. So this way you can check by double clicking on the scale, you can change and revert back to 1:50. 1:40 must fit. So 1:40 would also, oh no, it does not fit. So 1:50 fits. So let's just stick to 1:50. Go back to your sheets and now the ground floor is there. Okay. And then we will create the sheets. Now we are good to go. Okay. And then we create the sheets. We hit on create sheets and you will now see that there have been few more sheets created under the sheets tab, which is your 302 and 303. And you see now there is automatically getting updated because we have the background update. We have the background update, right? It's automatically getting updated because the background update is clicked. The background update is part of the hamburger menu, enable background update. And now it's ready, right? Sheet is ready. We see that the sheets are added and then we can move on. Then we check on the generated drawings to see the resulting drawing of the section ground floor. We will right click on the ground floor. You can just go to the section view also, just go to the ground floor, right click on the ground floor, and we're just gonna say display the section result. There you go. Your building number 2 has the section result right here. Right? Now, the floor plan is placed on a sheet and we see the cut through, the representation. Okay, there you go. And we also see some automatic tags that have been placed here for windows and doors. Okay. All right, so let's fix that. We don't see the furniture, so let's fix it. We are seeing that there is no furniture over here. In the model, we have furniture, but we don't see the furniture here. What we need to do for this purpose is we would have to go to the layers panel. And in the layers panel, we will search for BRX 2D. Just filter it, go here to the search panel and type in BRX _ 2D. And you see that the 2D symbols are off. We can switch them on, and there you go. Now you have the furniture visible. All right, if the BRX layer is turned on, we see the furniture. This happens because our real section was replaced. Okay, our real section is now replaced by this 2D representation. All right. And this 2D representation is in your 2D layer. If you want to represent that with the layer itself, some of the items are in the layer which you can on them, like the symbols. You can switch them off if you want to switch them off, right? And let's say the swing of the door is not visible. Then you can switch it off, switch it on, okay? Test these. So the BRX2 is the layer on which you need to check that. And we will discuss further on how you can create this in the advanced drawing documentation module. Okay? Now let's move to the last module, which is the changing 3D module. Okay? Now, let's make some changes to the BIM model and update the flow plan, open up the section in the 3D model, and then we will do that. Okay, so how we can do that? We can simply go, we can simply go to this view, and you see there is this open model, okay, this symbol of open model. Use this symbol and directly open the model in the 2D view and 3D editable view, which is directly getting opened here now. Okay, there you go. This is a 3D, but you can work in a 2D. The second thing what we're going to do is we're going to select the interior door. Okay, there we go. We select this door on the left hand side and we use the quad. And by using the quad, we use the BIM flip. Yeah, the BIM flip, you can use it both ways. You can use the BIM flip horizontally, okay, or we can use the BIM flip vertically, right? So the door will automatically flip, and this will happen in 3D, yeah, and get updated in 2D. Now, the next thing is we will open the library panel, okay? Oh, but before opening the library panel, we have to do one more thing. We have to take this sofa and we're going to delete it. Delete the sofa, okay? Now, we go to the furnishing panel. We go to the library first. You see this gas balloon here, the library symbol. Just go to the furnishing elements. Just grab any of the chairs and you can place it somewhere here. Okay. Okay. You can place any furniture that you would like to. And now after that, what we will do is we will check the outer walls. Just use the outer walls. Select all the outer walls over here. But we can also do that smartly by just going to our entities, okay, and doing that as well. Or we could just select one of the walls here. Just select all the outer walls, okay, and then after selecting the outer walls, you can go to your compositions on the left here. Just choose the cavity wall brick, okay, and then we can drag and drop it on the wall, and you can see that it's getting automatically applied on the 3 or 4 outer walls, okay. And then if we are happy with this, we just press enter, and this should change our outer wall configuration. All right. And by doing this, we're gonna save this file by pressing Ctrl S, and we're gonna switch to the ground floor plan. Okay. So we're gonna go in here. Okay. And actually, if you go to the BIM project browser, if I close this, actually I can just update. Actually, it's probably you just update the section, and you will see the changes reflecting in the section. Okay, this will automatically happen because if you have the background update on, it will automatically happen. But yeah, if you can even update it this way, you see that My outer wall configuration is updated. BIM door is updated. Couch is gone. Okay. Right? So yes, that was the last part of this session. Okay. And now what we can do is we can put it to a test. Go ahead and for the next 20 minutes, we will explore this. Okay. Page number 49, page number 50, page number 51. Okay. Please start. We can go into the breakouts now. Anna, please.